Good morning, everybody. You're tuned to Computers 2K now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Amnon, your host for the next couple of hours, along with Spence.
Good morning.
Good morning. And Nick.
Hello.
And, is Gal here? Yeah.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, he's here. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Our number is 919-518-9773, Computers 2K Voice on Skype. And today's show is made possible by vMix Software, Telestream's Wirecast software, and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear. What's going on?
Did you see Roku and Fox came up with a deal to stream the Super Bowl on Roku?
I saw a story that Roku is not going to offer Fox as a standalone service anymore. That
Fox
was
News?
Fox. They said Fox.
Oh, well, that could be. Well, they don't really have a Fox.
Well,
channel.
apparently they do.
No, I never saw it.
And they said that they are not going to offer it, but you can get it with this package and that package. And
oh,
Wait, so tell me more about this streaming of the Super Bowl.
yeah.
Yeah, so Roku and Fox reached agreement in time to stream Super Bowl 2020. Roku owners relax. Fox apps will remain on your devices after all.
Oh, okay.
So a carriage dispute between Roku and Fox ended Friday evening as the two companies reached an agreement to keep Fox's app on Roku streamers and Roku TVs.
There you go.
I use the Spectrum app on Roku. And if you're on your home network, it means you get, I guess all the channels I watch anyway.
Yeah.
And it's
100-something channels.
Yeah, that's good. And that way I don't have to buy extra, cable boxes. I can just put a Roku on there, and it's a little tedious to start out because when you leave it sit, it times out back to the home screen. And you have to open the app again. I have a really slow Roku on the one old, it's a CRT TV with composite inputs. So I have to use that old Roku because I have the composite output. It's good because it's just occasionally used, but it's still good because it doesn't cost anything.
Alan is asking how many millions is a 30-second spot worth?
I don't know this year.
I heard something about 30 or 40 million. Man. What's his name that's running?
Who's going to be the funniest ad? Have you seen some of the new?
3
I don't know,
million.
but not Progressive. One of the insurance companies has a bunch of new ads now that are really funny. So it's almost to the point where it's like, what is this commercial for? I don't remember it was a new one that I saw last night. I think it's going to be a Super Bowl ad.
I like the Liberty ones with the emu. Those are pretty fun.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Those are stupid. There's no
It's
rhyme
that,
or reason to them.
and Geico's the only other one that does funny things. I don't know if any of
Well, Liberty and what's the one about? We've seen this before. Where they have the museum of
that's
insurance claims.
Yeah, farmers
progressive.
something.
Farmers, yeah.
Oh, farmers.
Yeah, but everybody thinks of the theme, right?
Yeah.
In the commercial.
Yeah, but if you didn't remember who it was, then it wasn't good. So you didn't remember it was the farmers.
Yeah, but the theme is "We are farmers," so that makes you remember it. That's the good part. Otherwise, if you got the song in your head, you have no idea what it's for. It's like, well, why'd they spend all that money?
Yeah, a lot of these, you have no idea who what it's for, who it was by, and I don't know how they spend all this money on commercials that really don't do anything.
I'm interested to see who has the worst woke commercial that just people groan. They go, "Oh boy, do you really have to bring that up now?"
So
I remember a few years ago there was a Doritos one, where a kid built a time machine. Remember that one? That was like
No.
excellent script writing. It's like the kid builds this box, writes on a time machine, lets
yeah,
yeah,
that's
let's
with the old guy that
yeah,
sits there.
exactly.
Yeah.
Lets an adult guy go into it, says that the price is Doritos, right? And he gives the Doritos out of the slot. Then he disappears, but the old guy comes out of the house, and then the guy is sure that the time machine works. So it was like this whole story. This it worked very well.
Yeah. Amazon.
What's that?
Their latest earning release reveals the company now has 150 million Prime members around the world, a substantial increase from the 100 million it announced back in 2018. It's also quite impressive considering the Prime membership fee increased from 99 to 119 a couple of years ago. It's just, I was thinking, just do the math, how much they're getting just from membership.
That's their business model.
Yeah.
And it works for them, I mean. And
I mean,
currently for their customers, right? Because the customer number is increasing. So
they're making at least, I mean, if I just count, I mean, they're making at least 150 million, right?
Well, yeah,
At least.
that's right.
Could be more, could be less. I'm not sure. At least.
If everybody paid $1, yeah.
Great. At least 150
Yeah.
million.
It's ridiculous.
No, it's not. You know, let me tell you what's going on here. I've
All
got
right.
the inside scoop.
Oh,
It's a service that a lot of people have that is on auto renew, and it's not. There's not enough reason to cancel it. I'm sure most of the people I'm sure a bunch of people that have it don't actually need it, but it's not expensive enough where it's worth the hassle of canceling.
right.
And it's an auto renew service.
yeah, but even though it's not that I do not agree, but there's one element. I mean, most auto renew services that they're usually a very, very small fee, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they provide little to no value. This one, even if they don't really need it, it still provides some sort of value, right?
Yeah, it does. Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean, I don't think there's anyone with a Prime membership that doesn't order from Amazon.
No, there's not.
Right. So there's always some value in it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's probably the reason that people don't cancel. It's like, even
But
if they don't use it to the max, they still have a value from it.
And it's not worth, I don't think for a lot of people it's worth canceling. Right? It renews once. It's not, if I'll tell you this, if it was $10 a month, you'd probably have less people, but you pay for it once a year and then it's done. If you were looking at your credit card statement or your debit statement every month and you saw Amazon, $10. I don't know. I bet you the response would be a little bit different. People are much more willing to spend, at least I am. I don't know about everybody. I'm much more willing to spend $120 a year on something than I am $10 a month, even though it's the exact same amount of money. I don't know.
and
That's just how I am.
and the thing about canceling also, I mean, many times I was thinking about canceling, but then you think, yeah, I'm going to cancel it, and the day after, I'm going to really need something, and I'm going to look at the prices there, and I'm going to go look at the other prices, and I'm going to say, why did I do this?
But let me ask you, would it be
So-
worth you canceling it? What is that $120
Mhm.
that important to you?
N-
And the answer,
no,
I think, for a lot of people
No.
is no.
right.
And if
Absolutely.
it is, you probably have your priorities in the wrong place anyway.
He hasn't bought a new pair of shoes in 6 years because of that $120. Amnon's walking around with his shoes are falling off his feet.
What shoes?
Yeah.
What
shoes?
What shoes?
Yeah, they say about the
But-
blacksmith and the carpenter and whatnot. So in Amnon's case, it's the video producer.
Yeah.
The cameras are falling apart in the studio.
That's it.
But the thing is, really, it's smart because it's the buying stuff, it's the Prime streaming stuff. What else do they have there?
Twitch,
Twitch. I mean,
music,
They have
so they got
Yeah.
music, TV, Twitch.
so it's different things for different people. But
Mhm.
when you're getting it, I mean, you get all this. It suddenly it seems like, oh, it's nothing.
I have been comparing prices in a lot of cases. I know you do it, Nick, where you look at see what it costs on Amazon and you weigh the delivery, and then you look at Walmart might have the same thing for the same free delivery, and
Mhm.
it's not that much of an advantage anymore for some things.
Yeah, especially when you order something and they tell you to bring it tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes and they say, "Oh, it's going to be here in 2
Yeah,
days."
it's going to be late.
Yeah,
Yep. And plus the some of the knockoff quality has really gone in the dumper. You go, oh, I can get the similar product from China at a lower price, and you look at the hysterical reproductions that they're coming out with now
Mhm.
that look close, but
apparently they have a lot of problems with knockoffs and fakes and counterfeits.
Yeah.
Merchandise.
well, the marketplace. I don't know what the vetting is for the marketplace, but
Yeah, I mean, if they make money, why would they care, right? It's only when a lot of people start complaining, or a lot of manufacturers, then they start looking at it.
yeah.
The other thing too, and I am in this boat. It also depends on your proximity to stores in your local area.
Yeah.
I live 0.4 of a mile from a Walmart. I mean, I shit you not, it takes me literally 60 seconds to get there. If it was 25 minutes away, I wouldn't. I'd never go. But I go to Walmart. I might go to Walmart 5 or 6 times a week. Sometimes more than once in the same day.
And in many
'Cause it's so
cases,
close.
the stuff at Walmart is cheaper.
It depends, and I
It
can get it right
depends.
now because we live in this now society.
Yep.
I want it right now. I need cash now.
Sing. Can you sing opera?
No, I'm not singing the J.G. Wentworth. Um, but and even if it's not cheaper, if I need I think it's something I recently bought at Walmart.
They done.
Oh, I bought a what the hell did I buy last week? I bought some sort of kitchen implement. It was some sort of slicer or something. I don't remember exactly what it was. They were cheaper on Amazon, but I wanted it right now. So I drove over to Walmart. Probably spent double on it. Still only a couple bucks, and I had it.
It's funny how it's evolved because it used to be there's still a very good place to get auto parts if you can wait and you can consolidate your order for things you're going to do work on a car and you want to order all the materials you need. Rock Auto is still one of the best places out there to do it. And all the costs you see up front, and if you consolidate your order You can really make out good for brand name stuff if you want brand name. But now the same brand name stuff I'm finding on Amazon for next day delivery. So it's for one or two items, I'll use Amazon. If it's a box, literally a couple of boxes filled with stuff for a repair job, especially brand name stuff that's heavy, meaning bulk items, I go with Rock Auto.
Why?
Because I get quality and I get a better selection too. The tool that you use to order from is great. You put in the vehicle and then you search down through the tool and say you want to replace the struts, the front and rear struts, brakes, rotors, things like that. You want to buy a timing chain or a belt kit for a car, and you can get it at the local auto parts store. Local auto parts stores are 100% more expensive than buying it through Rock Auto in many cases,
and a lot more expensive. Not just more
and crazy. And you're not necessarily getting the best part either.
Right.
You're getting their in-house brand, which is junk. So you got to really be careful that you order good stuff. But if I can wait, I remember I ordered the exhaust, the muffler and exhaust pipe for a Honda one time. This is years ago when I first started using Rock Auto. It came as the bare thing with a label on the muffler, and it was 6 feet long. And they just delivered it off the truck and laid it on my porch.
Yeah.
No box.
Well, so speaking of specialty websites, I recently did a new radio install in my car, and I could have saved a couple bucks ordering the parts off of Amazon, but I ended up ordering them from Crutchfield, and Crutchfield provided an installation, not necessarily an installation guide, but a kind of a
help
installation step kind of thing.
They do a good job.
And they had support. So I had a
Yes.
question. I called their support number, and within 3 minutes, I'm talking to somebody, and they're answering my question, and I'm done. So
Yes.
for me, it was worth probably the extra $40 or $50 I spent on Crutchfield because I got support. I mean, if I would have called Amazon and said, "Hey, what do I need to connect the orange wire, the GPS wire?" I mean,
No.
they would never have answered me. So
You could have submitted a question and it would have gone to the supplier,
the
and taken about a
community.
week later, you might get something back saying,
yeah.
But
sorry,
you know,
we don't have an answer.
Nick did something yesterday that I went, oh, wow. Nick was looking
What?
for a motherboard.
Oh, that was 2 days ago. Yeah.
Oh, that was
It's
Friday.
Friday. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I couldn't, I mean, where would you go to buy a motherboard in Raleigh? Who would you go to?
Entrex is probably the only place.
But Entrex is closed, I thought.
No, there's still one store open.
Are you
And they
sure?
only have like 2 motherboards. That's it. So
Best
there's
Buy.
Still one store open.
The only place is Best Buy.
Best Buy has it, and you could go to, well, I don't want to mention their name because they're a wholesaler, but you can't.
Drayman.
You can't just walk in off the. Yeah, well, yeah, Drayman.
Well,
But you can't-
a lot of people these days are going to Drayman and they get it right. I mean, wholesale or not. I mean, they have to
stay in
make
business.
money. So they're selling to the
The public
end
now.
users, but
Yeah.
it's cost more, yeah. But
So yeah,
Well,
I
they
buddy of
do-
mine.
They don't carry a lot of brands, but they carry good stuff.
Yeah.
So it's good Intel boards and
yeah, but I mean, you need it on the weekend.
Yeah. So yeah, a buddy of mine.
you
lives
go
up
to Egghead.
Egghead.
What?
Um,
Oh, God, sorry, I forgot.
He lives up in he lives about half an hour outside of Raleigh, and he texted me and said, "Hey, you know anybody up here where I can get an LGA 2011 motherboard?" So I thought, oh, old motherboard? Who am I going to call? But Mr. Amnon Nissan, because he's got six backups of it. Unfortunately, Amnon had no LGA 2011s, and you're not getting an LG. It's an older motherboard, So 2011 to 2014 is when those were in production. Where are you going to get it? Where are you going to get a board like that?
Amazon.
No, even
No,
Amazon
no.
is a tough sell.
eBay is probably the only place. you'll
eBay,
find
yeah,
it.
and then you got to wait. God knows how long
Right.
for it to come.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess
I
Craigslist
was so
could be a
jealous.
solution, but
I was in Atlanta and talking to my brother-in-law and his son-in-law about going out and finding stuff like this. They still have in Atlanta a Fry's and a Micro Center.
Wow.
And
well,
Micro
Fry's is
Center,
closing, or one of them is
yeah, I
closing.
know they're going away, but the Micro
Yeah.
Center is one of the best retail stores. You used to be able to go in, and they still make their own brand desktops. Micro Center desktops. They'll build them from parts. They'll build it custom for you.
It's pretty cool. Oh yeah,
But
and they
the-
don't charge a fee for it. That's the other
But
cool
yeah,
part.
it's a great store. I remember going in there and back in the days when I was fitting out labs, going in there and buying a couple of desktops, or just if I was, I think they started in the Philadelphia area because I had a friend who lived outside of Philly, and we would go to the store. Great store. Not many around, but where there are some, it's
Yeah,
great.
but I mean, when you think about it, just not too long ago, we had Tiger Direct, we have CompUSA, we had, I mean,
Yeah.
there
Circuit
was
City.
Egghead.
Circuit City, yeah, all these stores, and
It's
I
all
don't know.
Bezos. It's Bezos' fault. We need to go get him.
No, Circuit City closed well before Amazon. They've been closed for ages.
Yeah, they were just overextended. Their whole financial model was not good.
I don't know.
And then they were because their main business was appliances and TVs.
Yeah.
So the tech stuff was just a sideline. Really.
It's just that it's a problem. If you need, it's just like when you're talking about electronics. I mean, parts, components. I wouldn't know where to go today to buy, resistors, capacitors.
Remember, you could
No.
go to Radio Shack and they'd have all that stuff
Yeah,
in
used to.
drawers. You go in and just find what you needed. And
Yeah.
John says Newegg has them, but that's their online. Yeah. I remember the Egghead store. This store in Raleigh, in Cary,
Yeah.
was the only profitable store as they were going out of business. And that was what was a shame with the guys who all worked there for years. Because of the people that lived in the area and wanted a quality store, I went there all the time. It was only 10 minutes away. And they were really upset the fact that we're a profitable store and yet they're closing all of them. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
Tiger Direct was interesting, but some of their stuff was suspect. You got to watch the quality.
I mean, a lot of these places, they look like the quality was not there, but I mean, you could buy name brand, and that makes no sense, no difference.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a shame.
I bought
mean,
a lot of stuff at
Spence-
Tiger Direct.
Spence, did you live in Raleigh in the days of Computer Warehouse?
I don't remember it.
Computer Warehouse, that's probably 80s or 90s.
Oh yeah, I remember going there. Yeah, mid '80s. Yeah,
in a
that was
past
my
life?
hangout spot. Yeah.
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 I
my
mean,
hangout
you
spot.
would go in that store and you couldn't find anything from motherboards. And back then it wasn't big, remember. It was IBM boards. It was all kind of the old stuff. And then you would buy those big printers, plotters, printers that have the ribbon, not the ribbon. What do you call them?
Dot matrix print.
No. I'm talking about size of a piano. With the
Oh, the
chain,
big
the
plot.
letters,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
letters were on a band.
Oh, a daisy wheel.
No,
No,
It was-
the band printers. Before the band printers were, and think of it just as like a flat band that had raised characters
Yeah,
on it.
right.
They had slug printers. It was literally type slugs like you get out of a typesetting when you'd lay old-fashioned type on a
Uh-huh.
train that would spin around.
Yeah.
We used to rebuild those.
It was amazing. The stuff.
It was so noisy. There had to be
Yeah.
inside a cabinet. because it would make so much noise. Yep.
But it was great to go in there and just look around, and it was big.
That's the way. That's the way when Fry's got past being their original store and had their retail model, you could go in there to the computer section of the store, was 1/4 of the entire store. You could go, there's the wall that has all the cases. There's the wall that has all the motherboards. Here's the aisle that has all the different types of disk, whether it was a disk writer or whatever. And then here's where all the memory is. It was just, the selection was unbelievable.
Let me tell you what the solution is here. It is not a national chain. It is mom and pop stores in markets where it's needed.
Yeah.
There's a
And
store down here.
Mhm.
It's called Island Computers, and it is very similar to what you are describing. It's a small store, but you can buy adapters for computers, power supplies, motherboards, GPUs, CPUs, computers, monitors, screens, dongles, cables, whatever. They sell all of it. But
And
it's not.
that's
It doesn't work. It doesn't work as a national. It's not going to work as a chain. It's got to be local people, or relatively local people, or small chains. Maybe 4 across the North Carolina or something like that. But Circuit City, Best Buy, that it's not going to work.
Yeah, their buying model just could not ever sustain itself.
No.
Because they couldn't predict what they'd sell. And
Well, and you can't afford, and the overhead. I mean, look at the size of a freaking Best Buy.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Jesus, how much does it cost? What is the rent and the property tax on a
Yeah.
Best Buy every year? Instead,
Yeah.
these places are in little strip malls, and they're fine. They're small stores, knowledgeable people that work in there, a bunch of nerds, know their stuff about computers. It's great.
it's funny how Best Buy has morphed. I was in there recently to buy something, and I took a while to walk around. And they have an aisle that's just home security and probably 2 aisles, home security and home automation. But the stuff is laid out. It's not like it's shelves of stuff. It's fancy displays of, here is the latest Netgear Arlo, and they have a video tablet doing a demonstration, and it's almost like a boutique store display, not a, because they're selling it to people who aren't really sure what they want. I go in the store, I know what I'm going to get already. I'm not going in to look at, to decide in the store. I've already done my research. But yeah, very interesting how the store morphs and different sizes of floor space get moved around. And HP is paying big bucks for their printers and laptops in that store for the square footage, as well as Apple. Big bucks.
Oh yeah, Apple's got a huge area.
Yeah.
There's not an Apple store down here. That's where you have to go to buy something.
You know who we forgot? Office Depot.
Yeah.
I'm just looking, and they have a bunch of them, but you don't know, is it available in the store? Or is
No,
it
none of it
online?
is. That's the problem with Office Depot and
Yeah.
Staples. It's the same issue.
They still have some decent techs. I know people.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
do.
go there, but I've talked to them, and I know people that go there to have stuff done to the computers, and they usually are like, they scream at the Geek Squad at Best Buy because they get something always goes wrong with
Of
your
course.
repair. And you don't get what you expect. Oh, well, we had to wipe out your drive. What? You told me you weren't going to do that. You were going to back up my drive. No. We had to wipe it out, but we didn't call you to tell you. So,
No.
and I'm
But-
sure the guy, I don't know if any of these guys will listen to the show, but I don't mean to impugn your integrity. It's just the system is the way it works. And you can't get out from under it.
The weird thing with Staples and Office Depot is they seem to make all of their money on office supplies. I mean, that's their thing. I mean, obviously that's what their name is, but they could very well become a computer store. But they're making all their money on selling people companies ink and paper and stuff on monthly subscriptions.
Oh yeah,
That's
and
where they're
pen-
making the money. Why would they waste their time?
folders and pens.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
So it's like, why they don't care about the PC market. selling desk furniture and office supplies. I mean, they sell Keurigs and all that coffee and stuff.
I don't know. I'm looking at it this way. If I had a store like Staples, I'm part of the Staples.
You're Mr. Staples.
And I think we talked about it before. It takes nothing, next to nothing, to have a little corner somewhere where there's nothing going on, a couple of shelves with computer parts. It's not like you have to keep buying and keeping and all that. It's okay. Here, we bought, we put it here. From now on, it's not costing any maintenance, so to speak. Yeah, somebody's going to have to keep up with, do we even have it anymore? And if they see something that's moving, then get more. It brings people in. It's not for the, do we make a lot of money from it? It brings people in.
So they got to take something out of the store to accommodate.
No, I didn't say that. No.
But they do. You've been to a Staples recently?
Yeah. And
there's no empty space.
Oh, there's a bunch of, let's not call it empty space. Let's call it space that can be used for other stuff, because there's way too much of the same thing along the wall.
So
they sell a lot of desks.
Yes, they do.
And so there's a lot of space taken up with furniture.
Yeah, which is fine. They need to put, I'm talking about other stuff. And really, 6 foot wide wall with few shelves on it, and that's it. You don't need more. But there must be a reason.
There's got to be. Why did Radio Shack close?
I don't know, because Radio Shack was sort of just for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but the problem is they never embraced computers, or in the later days.
True.
They didn't sell computers. They sold little tchotchke, little drones and other garbage and cell phones. That's what they turned in. They turned into a crappy cell phone store.
Yeah.
Turned into a fad computer.
When they were selling computers, the Radio Shack computers, those stores were filled all the time. They were small, and you walk in and it's full of people just looking, buying, or whatever. Yeah, as far as going to sell, I guess they thought they can make money this way. But
and they can, because they're getting sweet deals from the carriers,
I guess.
But it eventually runs out, and then people buy their phones at either the Apple store or at their local carrier store or online.
Well, John is saying, has the market for parts diminished? Are people replacing instead of repairing? Wait, replacing was there. Who ever heard about anybody repairing a motherboard locally, even or even not locally? Who ever sent a motherboard to have? Oh, it's not working anymore. Let's send it over there and have it fixed. No.
Oh, yeah, I RMA'd a motherboard, but they just replaced it.
Yeah. Exactly. But
Taco Bell has a service. They fix it while you eat.
There was no repairing of that kind of stuff. It was always replacing, because nobody could solder that stuff on, and if you could find somebody who can diagnose it and get the part and solder it, it would cost you more than to replace it. So I think the parts were for other things, were for hobbyists that do things, and those people are still around. A lot of ham radio operators were buying stuff in order to build boards that do something else. You go today, it's amazing. We go walking locally at Cary Town Center, which is supposed to be a mall, but I think there's about 10 stores left open there. Everything is closed. But there are probably about 10 different stores, big stores, and I don't know what's the deal there, that are catering to uh, robotics. You see kids sitting around, kids and adults, and they have all these robots running around the floor, and they're and you see this is something that was built from scratch. You see the parts.
Those are town of carry activities.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, they're the city, I think,
Oh,
paying
but
for
it's
most of it. Yeah,
great. It's great. I
yeah, I
mean,
agree.
we're there at 8, between 8 and 9 in the evening, and those kids are there learning. It's amazing. I mean, a kid like that would like to go home and be able to say, I'm going to build something. Now, where do you start? Where do you get the parts? You did something and you soldered a crystal somewhere or a transistor and you got it too hot and you blew it and say, oh, I need another one. Where would you go? You have to wait for mail order. So there are things that people can use these places for, but yeah, it is. It has to be a business and it has to sustain itself. That's why I think that the bigger store have a better chance at sustaining themselves and stocking some stuff than somebody who's going to do it just for that purpose.
Well, I think the the gaming market will drive this. This is that will be the determiner.
What do you mean?
The PC gaming market.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
that it will if something like this is
Oh.
needed, the PC gaming market will show it.
yeah, but
And
again,
we might find out it's not.
here talking about going to Cary Town Center, 2 stores gaming closed.
That's
I don't
different. You're
underst-
talking about
No,
It
no,
could
I'm
look-
just saying, why? I mean,
because they're selling console games, and console games are way cheaper to buy online than they are in stores.
Oh no, that's not true. They are
And
the consoles themselves are probably their main business at this point, and they're
Yeah.
used games, which are
Very
way
much so, yeah.
cheaper.
yeah, a lot of them
But-
have. I mean, signs. They used to have signs outside. Use games, trade your game and all. But you never saw a lot of people in there, and you see that a lot of people that are playing games. I don't
yeah,
know.
but you can buy the game directly from the Microsoft store, and you're good to go.
Yeah, but I'm sure it's a lot more expensive than
It depends.
Do we have a Microsoft store nearby?
Yes,
in Durham.
one in Durham.
Is it in the same mall as the Apple store?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I didn't
It's a
know.
cool
I didn't
store.
realize it was there.
Yeah, it is a cool store. So, I don't know. Anyway. All right. Let's see what else we have. The FBI has shut down a website that offered hackers easy access to 12 billion records stolen in thousands of data breaches. So, if you're wondering how people get your information when there's a breach, here it is. It's an exchange. On Thursday, the Justice Department announced it has seized the internet domain to WeLeakInfo.com, a site that was cataloging data taken from more than 10,300 data breaches at various companies and websites over the years. Customers could pay as little as $2 to gain access to the massive trove of data, which was carefully indexed and searchable. In return, subscribers could look up a person's email address to find out what previously leaked passwords, name, phone numbers, and IP addresses has been associated with it. It isn't entirely clear how WeLeakInfo.com was obtaining the data breach records, but hackers routinely sell, trade, and collect such information on dark web marketplaces and forums. What do they think? What did they think, those whatever? That they're going to really be able to survive with a website like this that anybody can get to, you know, but it's a good thing that they did. I mean, the breaches, you know, we hear about this and we hear about that, and 10,000 here and a million there and 500,000 here. And when you look at something like this, wow, they have billions of records. It's something. Just to think that a place like that exists or existed. And here's something else that's very interesting here. A social media boosting startup which bills itself as a service to increase a user's Instagram followers has exposed thousands of Instagram account passwords. The company, Social Captain, says it helps thousands of users to grow their Instagram follower accounts by connecting their accounts to its platform. Users are asked to enter their Instagram username and password into the platform to get started. But TechCrunch learned this week Social Captain was storing the password of linked Instagram accounts in unencrypted plain text.
What's wrong with that?
Any
It's
user
easy to read.
Listen, any user who viewed the web page source code on their Social Captain profile page could see their Instagram username and password in plain sight, so long as they had connected their account to the platform. I mean, yeah, who's using Instagram mainly? I guess kids, or is it evolving?
Everyone.
Everyone. I don't know. That's amazing. I always say I love to learn from other people's mistakes. These people did not. And I mean, it screams in every service's face: security, 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 security. And somebody does something like this because it's easier to program it.
What's a security?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No.
What's
There's
what's
social.
Instagram?
There's social security and there's social media.
Amnon, do you have you ever used Instagram, Amnon?
No.
Oh.
Nope.
What about Snapchat?
I was I had an account, but I never used it. I don't know if I still have.
Oh.
But I remember talking with my cousin in Canada a few years ago on Skype, and he would take 3 days, 4 days to answer. And I said, "What's going on?" He said, we don't use Skype. We use WhatsApp." So I don't know when I got a WhatsApp. And last week, I sent him a message after he was here, and I didn't get any answer. So I sent him a message on Skype. I said, "Ray, what's going on? I thought your thing is WhatsApp." He said, "No, not anymore. We're using Skype now because Microsoft used to be the evil empire. Today it's Facebook and Google."
Oh boy.
So
Well, if you're looking for something completely non-evil, right?
yeah,
The only player right now is Signal. For instant
that's weird
messaging.
because that's what he said. He said, "We're using Skype and I may switch to Signal."
Yeah, but the thing is, like any switching, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like nobody's there. I'd love everyone to switch to Signal. It will never happen because everybody's content with where they are.
Yeah.
I will not be able to move the people who already use iMessage and WhatsApp to now start using iMessage, WhatsApp, and Signal, right? That won't happen.
It all depends what you use it for, though. I mean, if you're using it just to communicate
I-
with your family and things, and it's not really for business, and you only have, 20, 30 people in your uh, list, and
The moment you have 20, 30 people in your
Yeah.
list, it will not work. You need you need 50 active people, right,
yeah,
to sustain a social network. That's what the all of the researchers came up with. So if you have 50 people connected to your social network,
your mic
and
is beginning to mess up.
let's try
It's
again.
breaking. Go ahead.
If we get
Ooh,
if you get above still, how about now?
it sounds more like mechanical. Nick, what do you think?
I mean, I can't control it.
Yeah, I know, but it sounds like
No, I don't know.
a connection. Go ahead.
Well,
Go ahead, Gal. If you have
let's try
50
again. Right. So if you have over 50 people in your social network, and that social network can be email, it can be a website like Facebook or a service like Instagram, right?
Mhm.
You will not remain there. You will not keep on using unless you have 50 active conversations there, right? It doesn't need to be a day, but it needs, those people need to interact with you on it. Now with email has become the new old mail, right? It's the one that you get bills on. It's the one that you get
Yeah.
all of the noise on it, right? So nobody's going to leave email anytime soon, even though everybody hates it, right? It's a very inefficient method, very insecure. There's a lot of issues with it, right? And any other service that came in and tried to replace email in some sort was rather unsuccessful, except a few social networks, right? Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram and Snapchat. Any other, right, is probably very niche. I mean, Google closed theirs, right? Microsoft never even tried. All of the old ones have died. MySpace and the Friendster and etc. Right, and then you have the forum types. Reddit, which is really active. But every one of these systems, they fill a gap. Now somehow inside of all of this, right, WhatsApp actually succeeded. Succeeded so much that Facebook bought them, right? So I don't know. It's like it's a bizarre mix, but somehow introducing a new one, and there's a few options that I would love to see as the go-to solutions because they make more sense technically. They make more sense on the privacy side, but I don't see the moms and pops wanting to be there. And if I can't move my parents to it, if I can move my family to it, if I can move my home, the people with me at home to it, right? Then it'll stay a niche product, something that geeks play with, but no more than that.
So what we need is government legislation telling us what we can and can't
But
use.
it's a way to
That won't
communicate.
help either.
I'm being facetious, but that's what some people want. Look at what Elizabeth Warren just said about how she wants to put laws in place for online content, for what you put up on web pages and on social media sites. She wants to control it. In other words, she'll decide what's good and not good.
Gal, you're talking about niche. What's wrong with that?
Oh, I'm not. There's nothing wrong with niche, but if I'm looking to improve the quality of the uh,
The what?
of the medium, right, that we're using to communicate. If I want my my granddaughter's images to remain a property of the family and never pass hands to a third party, right? And I want it to happen on a platform that I know will not have even the opportunity of doing that, of grabbing that content from me. Then I need everyone in my family to move to that platform. But if that platform is never going to serve anybody else in the family except my conversation with them, then most of the time I'll try to reach out to them and they won't be available. Right?
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
So there's no problem with niche, right? Nick and I, we tried, looked at Mastodon as my file server has an add-on to that. It works, but even Nick and I, we both have that. We'll never converse on that.
I don't believe we've ever talked on it. Actually, once. We tried it once.
Yeah, we did a ping. We did a test.
Yeah.
It works. And it's fantastic. It's completely decentralized. It's on my server and a server that Nick trusts, right? And the connection between them works. Signal works. Signal is a point-to-point, completely encrypted, nothing stored on any server solution, right? The servers only act as a relay and completely encrypted point-to-point, which theoretically, right, WhatsApp is the same thing, but WhatsApp is already there. WhatsApp is actually using Signal's technology, right? So
what?
This is where we're at.
Okay, so today, what do you think Facebook can gain or can get from accounts that are using WhatsApp?
Look, they're promising us that you have end-to-end encryption, right? But they also control the software that is at the end. So that means, right, let's assume that they're completely truthful and there's no reason to doubt them, okay? Which is not the case, unfortunately. But let's say somebody in Facebook decides to start serving ads on the WhatsApp application. So the WhatsApp end, right, sees all the conversation, can analyze that for keywords and can give you targeted ads.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
And that's the least malicious scenario. Right. Just targeted ads.
But there's more than that.
There's always more than that.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just back and forth, back and forth.
Yep.
All right. Hey, Spence? Spence?
He just stepped away.
Oh,
probably be back in a sec.
All right. Until he comes, then we do the specials. There's something else here that's interesting. Despite criticism from Apple, I mean, you all heard that Brexit was passed, right? That the EU is leaving. I mean, the UK is leaving. They decided they're going to leave. Well, that's not everything that's happened in Europe. EU lawmakers on Thursday voted overwhelmingly in favor of a new rules to establish a common charger for all mobile devices makers across Europe. Remember we talked about it last week?
Yeah.
Members of the European Parliament voted by 582 to 40. That is very overwhelming. For a resolution urging the European, now that's a key word, resolution urging the European Commission, which drafts EU laws, to ensure that EU consumers are no longer obliged to buy new chargers with each new device. Now, this is really not the new, they didn't pass the law. The way that I read it, they voted 582 to 40 for a resolution urging the European Commission, which drafts EU laws. It's like the House puts a bill up.
It's like North Carolina asking federal to
Right,
yeah,
to do something. Yeah.
yeah.
But 582 to 40, that means a lot of people are for it.
Well, that just
We'll see.
means that there's no real strong lobby for USB for what's called lightning cable.
Lightning. Yeah, lightning. I don't know.
Yeah, strange. Yeah,
Very strange. But it's good if it and I'm sure it's gonna spill over to the rest of the world because companies are not gonna do chargers for Europe and then chargers for the rest of the world. So
I don't know. I don't know if I mentioned it in one of the previous shows, but there's an interesting tidbit from the Versailles Accords,
Mhm.
which were what Versailles Accords are after the 100-year war or something like that. Versailles Accords. The tidbit is about Treaty of Versailles, after World War I. So one of the tidbits is the standardization of what is the standard A tone for orchestras. Right, along with a whole slew of a whole bunch of other standardization agreements, right? So this is the world after having a huge war, sitting down and says, okay, how does peace look, and put it in a document, right?
Mm.
One of the titles, one of the paragraphs are about setting standard A to be 440 hertz. I think it's like deciding how the tone for a specific note for tuning an orchestra is.
Oh.
And the reality is that before that, right, it was complete chaos in that arena, and every different concert hall would basically be tuned by whatever the current organ is tuned to, because that was the most complex machine to tune, right? Filing tubes and stuff like that. So from that point forward, music started to sound the same way, or approximately the same way, in every concert hall. Before that, each composer would hear their own music slightly different in different halls. It doesn't sound like much, right? But this is exactly this discussion, this government discussion about charging plugs.
Yeah.
And the thing is, and here's the thing that throws me the most. The government now is going to decide that there will be a standard charging plug, and they'll probably decide on the wrong plug. on the one that isn't necessarily the best one, right? The best choice, the one going forward. They'll probably decide on something either too unique and new that will never really work, or they'll go with a very old plug that somebody in the committee already knows. And that's it. Suddenly everything will be charged with a huge HDMI cable.
Yeah.
Right, something like that. So yeah, that's the problem with governments deciding things like that.
Yep. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Is Spence back?
No, he
No.
is not.
Okay.
Play the. Do you have
Oh,
that file?
no, because I don't have that. Wait a second. Do I have that account? No, I don't have that account here. I was thinking. I mean, there was no way that I could save it.
Well,
You have it on your computer?
I have it on my phone. I can send it
Oh,
wherever
it's
you
on the
need.
computer. No, don't send it because I don't do email here.
I can do it also on the computer.
You know what?
What do
If
you
you
want?
send it to me to to my regular Skype. Wait a second. No, you sent it. Hold it.
Send it to the personal Skype
Wait. Yeah. Let's see.
or to the group Skype.
Well, either or.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see. No, yeah, you didn't send it. You send it in the account between us.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll send it to the NCN one.
yeah, that's fine. Then I can play it, and hopefully it will go out. This is interesting scam that's going on, and I don't understand how Gal got that, because normally they go after people that are already on Social Security.
I don't think they know.
Uh,
I think they just use random
Oh,
phone numbers.
amazing that some people probably still fall for it.
Yep.
There's no reason these days to fall for something like that. Hey, Spence, don't I see him down there?
Yeah. Hello.
Oh, you ready to do specials
I am.
while Gal is sending? Yeah, Gal, we'll do it after the.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. We'll set it up. Yeah.
Okay. So we're ready for specials.
We're ready. We are. And we have a special announcement today to coincide with Groundhog Day.
We do.
Is that we're now going to offer groundhog weather forecasting service, a subscription service. We've actually have in place local groundhogs in every major market that will be sampling the weather for us on a real-time basis, and you can sign up for this service. But the only problem is, Amnon, you've got to have a groundhog translation guide.
Okay.
Because we're doing it in groundhog speak. Obviously, we want it to be real time and accurate.
So you wrote it, the whole thing this weekend? Wow.
Yeah. No, we got them all. We've been working on it for months. We just waited for today to announce it. Puxatawny Phil is going to be our spokesperson when we start going to major networks. We have our first Super Bowl commercial tonight. You can sign up for it. Yeah, it's amazing. So what do you think of Amnon's emoji? Actually, I fixed it. I added glasses. I left the glasses on.
And there's no more mustache.
What? No, it's there.
No, I don't.
Oh, that's true. Well, you know what? I was looking at your picture from, that's the problem. I'll fix it.
That's okay.
You want some tattoos or something? Maybe a mohawk? I can fix it. So.
All
right. So Computers 2K Now specials for February 2nd, 2020. And by the way, he did not see his shadow. So spring will come early, supposedly. Okay. So starting with our friends over at Staples, they've got an Epson Workforce Pro inkjet printer for $159, which is $140 off the regular price. Plus, you get $50 off if you trade in a working printer. So if you're looking for a business class printer and want to get a good deal, there's an opportunity right there. Got a couple of interesting items. These are not on sale, but they did show up in their product listing today. Was these Tizumi products. One is a gimbal support for a camera, which if you've never seen this thing, it's basically a wand that will keep the camera level no matter what angle you put it onto. And it also has a Bluetooth control to start and stop recording. Now, I'm not sure what camera they've got locked into this thing, but it does work with most smartphones too. But it's kind of an interesting thing. I've seen people on vacation using it for filming. And oh, by the way, we should talk about 1917, the movie, after we're done. Absolutely fascinating job they did with the way they filmed this movie. Also, Tizumi has that's $99 for the gimbal support. But Tizumi has an on-air pop filter. If you are finding that you're popping too much into your microphone, you don't have a muff on your microphone here. You can look real professional when you have on video by having a pop filter for $9.99. That's all it's for. It doesn't do anything. It's just so you look cool.
Mm-hmm.
You look like, recording artists when they sing through the pop filter. All right, Dell, 24-inch LED monitor for $109, save $90. Got an HP 14-inch AMD A9 laptop. Consider this an entry-level, full-function machine. A9 with 4 gig of memory, 128 gigs solid state drive for $259, which is $140 off. Got a nice i5 workstation laptop for for $479, which is $250 off. It's 8 gig of memory, 256 solid state drive. Logitech Advanced Vertical Wireless Mouse. If you have issues with carpal tunnel or anything else going on with the way your mouse works, I struggled for a while to find comfortable position to prevent problems with my arm. And I didn't get the Logitech one. I actually bought a Anchor version of this. But instead of your hand being flat, your hand now is turned so it's vertical, like you're reaching out to shake hands with somebody. So it keeps your wrist and the bones in your arm straight. So if you do have discomfort with that, check this out.
Oh, I thought you use it on the wall.
Yeah, that's what it's for too. Yeah. If you're standing and your computer screen is on the wall, and you just want to use it that way, it works good. But Logitech 910 vertical wireless mouse, $79 is 20 off. And they have a deal again on the Logitech K480, their first Bluetooth multi-device keyboard, portable keyboard. Take it with you when you travel. It's still handy if you want to put a tablet, a phone in the little yellow band there. That's a stand, and you can switch between 3 devices. This is their early multi-device support keyboard. The price keeps coming down. It's only $29 now, 20 off. Okay, Seagate Backup Plus 1 terabyte USB 3.0 drive. Now, this has a cloth touch to it. Why? Is this something is it like something that you have this need during the day to touch cloth? It's not like you can't touch your pants or your shirt. You have to touch a hard drive that has cloth on it. Well, they've got it now. It costs $10 more than the 1 terabyte normal drive. Or maybe it's just a fashion statement. I don't know. But $59.
The other day, I had a customer that needed to restore a program, some kind of what do you call those about your family and roots and all that. I can't remember the name of it. It wasn't one of the more heard about. And she said, it's in a flash drive. It's in the pocket. And I'm looking and I don't see any flash drive. There was a piece of wood in there, a box with a, the whole thing there was no plastic to it. It was wood. It was in a box.
I like the little squeaky toy ones.
Yeah.
The little rubber duck.
I guess they're
and all
coming
that.
up with all kind of ways to make it look expensive.
Oh, well, in some cases, I've actually taken the case off and all that's left is the guts to it. It's very small. Like
yeah.
I've got one here that is all that's left to it. You can still see the light comes on, but it's small enough that you could plug it in and not see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, well. All right. HP solid state 500 gig drive for $54.99. That's $65 off. If you're looking to upgrade your desktop or even your laptop to solid state drive, I'd say 500. Most machines now default come with 256. But it's still enough to load your operating system and your common programs and make it load fast. But 500 that's pretty good. But $54.99, that's a really good price. Now, I don't know what the performance is of this particular drive, but most solid state drives are definitely going to be faster than any
spinning
drive.
Yeah.
So also here we've got an HP 500 gig PCI Express internal solid state drive. So if you have no slots available, or you do have a PCI Express slot available, now this looks like I'm trying to think of the way it looks. It looks like it stands up, so it's not going to go unless a laptop has a specific slot for this. It's got to be a long slot. It's is installed vertically, but it's
Mhm.
$69, $5 off for a PCI format, PCI Express. Okay, Logitech R500 laser presenter remote for $39. That's 20 off. If you do a lot of presenting, it's very handy. Amazon Echo Show 5 smart display for $64.99, save 25. And this is the same price across most of the retailers today, so you can get it at pretty much anywhere. Facebook Portal Mini with video smart calling, $99, save 30 bucks. Amazon Echo Dot third generation smart speaker. I understand the advantage to the third generation is that the speaker quality is a lot better. I didn't think the old ones were too bad, but I know someone who just upgraded their first generation ones to third, really because of the sound quality. So, all right, that's $39. That's 50 off. And this is a great deal. I actually went back and looked at the different Netgear routers that were on sale today. And this one, even though it was cheaper, actually supports a faster wireless AC speed up to 5,300. So this was a good deal on the Netgear Nighthawk. The other one was, I think, maxed out at 3,800, and it was more money. So it was an older model. But if you're looking to replace your home Wi-Fi, it's a good way to go. Although we still think that TP-Link is probably the best price performer for features and speed. That's it for Staples. Going to Office Depot Office Max, they've got a ACP 900 VA battery backup for 79 bucks. That's 20 off. It's tax season again, so you can get some deals on TurboTax here. They've got a TurboTax Deluxe Federal and State for 49 bucks and some type of Quicken offer too. Additional, I don't know if this is just a combination ad, but it says save 10, 20 off select Quicken bundles. So if you're looking to upgrade or you're a TurboTax user. By the way, there's a fascinating podcast out there about TurboTax. When they tried to come up with TurboTax Pro, it was where they had live accountants that you could tie into. They came out with this new feature. I think it was 2012 or something like that. And it was a complete disaster. And the show, the podcast show I was listening to was about business plans. I don't remember the name of the podcast itself, but fascinating. If you did a search on TurboTax a rollout podcast, you'll find it. But it was interesting to see how they had this all planned and it just totally tanked the service. It just was not the right idea at the right time. Okay. A Western Digital 1 terabyte external drive, 49 bucks, save 25. If you don't have one of these on your computer, some kind, whether you have an online backup or a cloud backup or a local backup, you need to have one. 49, 50 bucks. This saved just one business that I've been working with now had a failure of a hard drive, and there were some files that I didn't realize were needed on this particular machine. And I was able to remote in and pull them off of the local Western Digital 1 terabyte drive that was just in the background doing its happy backup constantly, and saved me a trip going out there to find these files. So if you don't have one of these, please get it, load the software, let it run in the background. All you have to do is just say click on save common, the typical default things. It goes out and finds pictures, documents, all the important things from a data perspective. You may have to go and if you have something in a custom folder for a specific act, you may have to go in and add that manually, but boy, is it worth it. Just do it.
Yep.
Okay. Google Home Speaker, 25 bucks, save 24 is half price. Got a Logitech MK320 wireless keyboard for $24.99. Keyboard and mouse, save 15 bucks. Got a nice deal on a Lenovo i7. Oh no, yeah, it's an i7 workstation for $649. It's $250 off. 16 gig of memory, 512 solid state drive. Big case, so it's got lots of room inside. Good for expansion. A good deal.
Do you know which i7? Does it say?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not. I know that's important,
Yeah.
but the price, even if it's a generation older, for that price is still good.
Yeah.
LG ultra wide 29-inch monitor for $199, save $100. These you could buy like a 32-inch television and do pretty much the same thing with a VGA or an HDMI input to the TV. But these are designed for it, and the form factor of this, the width to height ratio, or width to, you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
is such that it is definitely set up as a real narrow ultra wide. It's going to be different from most TV screens. So $199, $100 off. Got a 24-inch Dell monitor for $119, $60 off. Got a good deal on a i7 HP laptop workstation for $649.99. That's $210 off. That's 12 gig, 256 gig solid state drive. The same really useful Brother printer scanner copier machine is available for $129, say $54. It's got automatic duplex and wireless, as well as USB and hard networking too through Ethernet. Good business, good home business machine. Now this one does not have a fax machine. From what I can see from the buttons, that's how I went, and I didn't really drill down. If you want an entry level, good entry level printer for home, Epson Expression Home XP4100. Now you can buy some of these printers at regular price for $49, but this is a $100 printer that's half price for $49.99. And finally, we've got the TP-Link Deco AC1200 whole house mesh. Now that's not the fastest mesh, but to get the very fastest, you're going to have to pay $300-400. So this is a good deal if you've got coverage issues and speed. 1200 is pretty fast, but if you have speed is not the most important factor. It's coverage and reliability. This is a good way to go. It's $179. And Best Buy, we've got some Apple deals. AirPods, latest model for $139. That's normally $150. Got an Apple, I think this is a 9.5-inch iPad for $249, 32 gig of storage, and an Apple iWatch Series 3 for $189, which is normally $199, so 10 off. Not tremendous sales, but what they're showing today. So it's funny how they keep adjusting what they show each week. Apple or Best Buy no longer has their weekly ad. Been a while. 27-inch HP FreeSync monitor for $149, normally $240. Got a nice HP 14-inch entry laptop for $219. It's $80 off. It's got an A9 processor, 4 gig of memory, and 128 gig solid state drive. So good browsing machine. Got an HP 17.3-inch Ryzen 7 machine, 16 gig of memory with, what size is that? 1 terabyte hard drive. It's not a solid state drive, but 1 terabyte hard drive for $529, which is $100 off. Got a Lenovo Yoga 15.6-inch i7 machine. This is an expensive machine, but the Yoga machines are ultrabooks that will double as tablets too. You fold them back and it goes into tablet mode. $1399, which is $300 off the regular price. Got a good deal on a Linksys MaxStream AC3000 tri-band mesh. Now, I'm not sure what this works with from a mesh perspective, because this is a standalone device.
Mm-hmm.
But they may have a satellite that works with this, or you can use another router as a satellite and use it in bridging mode, so you don't have to have a physical connection. But $199, which is 50 off, and they've got a 800 lumen 60 watt equivalent bulb, which is a full color spectrum multicolor control bulb. Does not require a hub. Works directly with an app. I think you can actually add a hub to it if you like. But $35.99, that's $9 off the regular price. And here are the deals of the day, Amnon. This is when you click on deals of the day at Best Buy, you get the 6-quart multifunction pressure cooker for $27.99, $32 off. You get the Hydro connected rower. This is one that's got a smart screen built in. You do your rowing every day, $21.99. But I guess if you want to stay connected, I'm not sure what goes up on that screen, but probably rowing programs as well as other things. And finally, don't know if this is a good deal, but they've got an Xbox One bundle, 1 terabyte Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order Deluxe Edition console bundle for $349, save $150. And that's it for today for Computers 2K Now specials.
Wow, thank
Don't
you.
forget to sign up. Watch our commercial tonight during the Super Bowl, and don't forget to sign up for the Groundhog Weather Service.
Thanks, Vince.
You're welcome.
While you were talking about the, you have one, the 1 terabyte
Backup drive?
backup drive.
What about it?
And I never used the software that comes on them. Did you?
Yes. It's
Okay.
very simple. Western Digital
Wait.
Smartware.
Okay, wait a second now. I came across a few of these drives on customers' machines, and they didn't even know they were full because it backs up daily or weekly or whatever, and it adds and adds and adds and adds and adds, and then somebody calls and say, "Hey, I'm getting something here that it can't back up," and I go and it's full. Is this bad set up by the customer?
Pretty
Is the-
much, because you can go in and tell it to save, like after every 10, it depends on the some of the more expensive ones have better software. The simplest ones, I'm not sure whether that's true or not, but they should go back and you can tell it, when it fills up, to delete the oldest backup.
So you can.
Or you can tell it to do, like, for every 10 incrementals, do 1 full backup. It all depends on what you're trying to do. But the way I usually set it up is I have it where usually have like 10 incremental backups and then do 1 full backup. And then once it fills up, delete the oldest incremental backups, save the full backups. It depends on the sophistication of the software. There's different levels of software.
Okay, well that was, I was just wondering if that was something that the customer did the wrong way.
Well, the easiest, or the right out of the box, it will, the defaults will be just to keep saving. And it could be something that they fixed since then. It's the software's on the drive. So you plug it in and go to the folder and install it. I know with my Western Digital cloud drive, there were 2 versions of software. You were supposed to pay to get the Pro version. I actually got a thing in the mail where they gave me 5 licenses of the Pro for free. And the difference with that was how you could select what to do with a drive when it's full. And I have mine so that it saves back so many before it deletes.
Okay.
And I set aside a portion of the drive to be used for backups, not the entire drive, because I do other backups from other software to the rest of the drive. So it all depends on how sophisticated you want to get.
Well, it's not a matter of sophisticated. It's a matter of being practical.
Right, yeah.
It's not practical if
Yeah.
And a lot of
I think
people
that-
don't pay attention.
You can look at the help pages, and it will tell you how to manually go in and delete the oldest backup.
Okay. All right.
You should be able to do it from the software. So the one I have, I'm not running the software for the standalone backup drives, although I have some. I'm using the cloud drive software. So
Mhm.
that's a little more sophisticated.
Yeah. So just remember that if you allow it to just do whatever, there's a chance that that thing will get filled up. And sometimes they don't let you know that they're full.
Yes, that's true. How old was that drive? Do you know?
It wasn't old. It was maybe 2 years old. And I looked at it, and the last backup was, this was last year, and the last backup was about 9 months old. So by the date. So I went ahead and I removed everything except the latest one. And called him the next day to look, and sure enough, there was a new one. So I told him, I said, you're going to have to find out how to do this, or you need to come in here every now and then and delete old ones. That's what I was wondering.
Golf. There was a
Any-
question from John about the best backup imaging. And I had two suggestions for free. I like Macrium Reflect and I like the Resilio Sync. What do you, are you still like these two?
Resilio Sync is okay, but I think to actually utilize that, they want money.
Oh, okay. I have it on here. I haven't used it in a while.
Yeah, I actually bought the license a while back, so, and I think it's like for life. So, but I haven't used it in a long time since I moved to a home server. But before that, it was an interesting solution, and I think it has merit. There's actually an open source alternative called SyncThing. But as I recall, back in the day, it was cumbersome to set up. So I don't know if it's still relevant. And for imaging, there's what Nick introduced us to, Aomi, which is fantastic.
Mhm.
Really, really simple, free, works very well. They also have a partition editor.
What to do if you want to use the solid state drive features that they offer in those programs, they want you to pay for that. You
I
get
just
the
did-
basic.
I
We talked about this, but the basic one, you don't really need it specifically.
Yeah, I
Spence,
don't think.
Spence, I just did a clone from spinning drive to an SSD using Aomi free. Yeah,
Why
I
didn't
mean,
you use
just
what
straight
came with the drive.
the what?
What kind of drive was it?
An SSD.
Well, what brand?
Oh shoot,
Samsung.
no, it was one of the cheaper ones.
Samsung has a
But-
really good,
but-
very basic software that
but
will
it-
just do a copy of the drive on the fly. It doesn't have to be rebooted. It's great.
No, I did it and it worked. So I don't know what. I mean, I was looking. Oh, there is the clone, and I thought about you. I said, Spence said that it didn't have it. It did.
Well, no, it clones, but there's a checkbox to talk about in both the basic Aomi and their partition software. When you go into
To
the clone feature,
align.
there's a checkbox that says optimize SSD,
Okay,
and it will not function unless you pay for the license.
right. I mean, it will still work,
Oh yeah, it'll still clone.
But
yeah,
it-
but it doesn't do that feature.
but no. Once you clone, the drive will still work. You will see an improvement in speed, but it's not optimized. You can even get a little bit more if you align it. Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah, that's all. I'm not
Yeah.
complaining about it. But
Which
I
you
still
can
use.
do the alignment afterwards.
Yeah,
right?
you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
But we're trying to make it as easy as possible here without having to go through extra steps. But I've recently done 3 Samsung drives, and I used 2 different methods. One was to use a Acronis True Image, and I did at their recommendation, they said you could just do a clone, and that's great. But if you want to really make sure everything is correct, you do a full backup and restore to create the drive instead of just doing a clone. So that way I knew that my backup file was good.
Was good.
Yeah. So that's actually a good way to go. It takes longer, but it
Yeah.
is a more informed way of doing it.
Yeah, and Spence, one thing you just said that I would argue about, that we're trying to make it easy. You cannot make it easy and have it free at the same time. Sometimes, if you want something free that will work, you're going to have to take another step, and it's no
No,
big deal. You do
what
it
I'm
one
saying is
time.
if you buy a Samsung drive, it comes with
I understand.
Samsung software.
I mean,
That's extremely easy to use and just clones the drive.
I needed about 110 gig drive for that the new restreaming machine. I bought a 250 gig SSD from Amazon. I can't remember the name of it. It wasn't a name brand, but it was something like $19.
Whoa.
And I mean, come on, it cannot be junk. I mean, there were a lot of reviews, and everybody was saying how good it was. And I said, look, I have a backup, so it's no big deal. It's not like it's something that I depend way on. And it didn't have any software on, so it works. And if I want and to optimize it, I just get that little bitty program and run it on it. So sometimes to do something easy, either you have to pay for it, or if you want to do it free, take an extra step. It's not something that you're going to have to do again and again. You do it one time, and it's okay, right?
If you're concerned about doing, like, you have a laptop and you want to move to a solid state drive, and you're concerned about what to do, have somebody do it for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, with the laptop, it's a different story.
Yes.
I mean, if I was to do a laptop, I would take out the drive, connect it to a desktop, and put the second drive as the third drive on the desktop, and do the cloning that way. Instead of doing it through USB, that takes a lot longer. So yeah, if it's a laptop, it's a whole lot easier to do it if you know what to do. Take out the drive, put it in another machine, and let it and do it this way.
I like to use I've done it both ways, but if I am going to do it USB, I use my Anchor USB 3.0
Mhm.
dock to do the cloning.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you have a lot of drives, don't make sure you're absolutely certain
Yeah, that's the drive.
which drive is your
Yep.
is your target drive and which drive is your source drive.
And because a lot of these cloning machines are talking about disk 0, disk 1, disk 2, disk 3, you really should go into your with Windows. I don't know how it's done with an Apple. Well, all these programs are for Windows. You go into the administrative tools and you bring up the disk management, and you look at the bottom part of the screen and you see which drive is it really? Is it 0, 1, 2, 3? And you write down, okay, number 3 is this and number 1 is this. And then you go and you do your cloning, so you don't mess up. Yeah, because you will screw up. I mean, there's no recovery from that if you did it the wrong way. All right. This is here. This is you can look at it two ways. New legislation in Russia, known as the Law Against Apple, mandates that smartphone makers must pre-install government apps that will give authorities access to an array of information about the phone's user. Apple, not surprisingly, is trying to wiggle its way out of complying. But whatever happens, it's another case of an authoritarian government pushing around a U.S. tech company for very undemocratic reasons. And I'm looking at it and I'm saying, nobody can complain here. It's Russia. They have their own government, they have their own rules, they have their own way of doing things. And if they decide to do it like that, yeah, it doesn't fit us. It doesn't look good to us. I mean, I will not do business there.
Yet we have people in our country who think we're worse than Russia.
Well,
they have absolutely no objective view at all.
But I
what
mean,
goes on.
this is the way they do it over there, and you have to comply. You can't wiggle your way out because you will never be successful. And stop complaining. If you want to do business, if you do business in the Caribbeans, you wear shorts when you go out because it's hot. It's you have to go along with what's happening in that country.
Are you saying I shouldn't trust anybody with long pants in the
Yeah,
Caribbean?
well, somebody's trying to impress you.
That's it.
But I mean, really, and it's not only against Apple. The only reason they call it that is because Apple is the only one trying to fight it. I don't know.
But you know what? When it comes down to where the rubber meets the road, if it means the difference between them selling phones and not selling phones, they'll cave.
Well,
They won't pull out of the market. It's too big.
if you don't pull out of the market, then you go along with what the market rules are. You're not special. And really, they want to know what the people are doing. So they're not. It's not like they're going to say, "Okay, Apple, you know what? You don't have to."
Well, they know what we're doing. It's just more clandestine.
Yeah. Now, here's something about Google. I mean, anybody else anything else to talk about? I don't want to hog it. Nick,
What?
why don't you tell us a little bit about what you did yesterday?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
No.
All
I
right.
don't want to hold up now. All good.
Guy, did something happen this week that you want to talk about?
Something happened.
I don't know. I mean, something that kind of will benefit the.
No, but you got the file?
Oh,
I sent it.
yeah. Let's see. That's a good point. All right. And let's see if I will play it here. See if it will.
This is a pre-record.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, so you want to.
Yeah, play it.
Okay.
Message from Social Security Administration Legal Department. The reason of this message is to inform you that SSA Department is filing lawsuit against you. An arrest warrant has been released on your name due to legal enforcement actions filed on your Social Security number for fraudulent activities.
Okay.
To get more information about this case, file from federal data.
Yeah.
And of course, they leave a phone number
Right.
and that you should call and set this up immediately. Just wanted to share this with anyone who hasn't or thought they've never heard a scam before. By the way, the Social Security website, when you search for Social Security scams, has another recording similar to this, a man's voice.
Mm-hmm.
But they obviously using a computerized recorded voice. It comes in from a random number. It might come in from the 1-800 number of the Social Security office.
Mm-hmm.
It might spoof that number as well. If you get this, disregard, right? It's
Right.
like,
And not
this is
just
classic.
this. And not just this. Nobody in position like the Social Security or the FBI or any is going to use something like this to get in touch with you. And remember, no legitimate company, especially financial company, are going to ask you for your personal information to go online and update it and make sure that your username and passwords are correct and all that in an email. Whenever you see something that just stop. If it just a little bit kind of bothers you, stop. The problem is that a lot of these don't bother a lot of people. Oh yeah, the FBI wants me to put that. Come on.
There's another new variation out there that I got the call this week, which was somebody calling. It was an electronic voice, but the person said, I'm so-and-so technician with TechNet, which is the name they were using, saying that my automatic subscription was going to be processed to my credit card for $3.99. If you want to cancel your subscription, please call. And of course, it was the call to say, well, we need to cancel your subscription. We need your credit card number.
Yeah.
So the main giveaway was electronic voice, right? First of all, if it's an electronic voice, it's almost absolutely certainly bogus.
Well, no. So this is why I think it's important to have this call. So yesterday I went to an ATM, and because of some mistake of mine, the transaction didn't go out, right? And I went to another ATM and the same thing. 10 minutes after that, I get a call from the fraud detection mechanism, and that blew my mind. It was a computerized voice, right, telling me why they're calling and all of that. But the entire identification process was one of more multiple choice and not, please enter your details, right? They already knew something about you. They just need to see that it's you. And they didn't ask for anything other than asking whether the transaction was valid or not. There was no, other than the identification process of asking me what was my birth year, right? And giving me a multiple option question on it. Other than that, there was no real identification, personal identification process. And so the risk was really, really minimal. But that was a legit one with a computerized voice from a financial company.
I think that sets a bad precedent, though, because if people think that there's legitimate versions of it out there, I mean, I understand why they do it, but I would rather get a text message just saying, because every transaction on my credit card that does not have the card present, I get a text message every time telling me what it was for, and I can go right away online and check to see why. And
right, but these were canceled transactions. They weren't transactions that actually went through. So it's a problem. It's a problem. What to look for? If they identify the company very clearly and you know it, if they identify you by name or by details, then it's okay. It might be okay. I won't say it's okay all the time, but it might be okay. Usually what happens is it's a call from Visa, MasterCard, something, right? Not something too generic to be yours, right? Which Visa, which MasterCard? These are just, right, stickers on something that you own. You own a Citibank, or you own, I don't know, a Chase one or a Wells Fargo one, right? You don't do your business directly with Visa or MasterCard. And obviously, never give out your social security number, never give out your credit card number, never give out your passwords over the phone, right? Never.
Never, ever. Never, ever.
Yeah.
And it's true. I mean, in most cases, something just happened. So you connect these things together. And you say, okay, yeah, I just had something happen. So that may be. And as long as they're not asking you for these things, listen, read, do what you think you should be doing. But if it's just a notification, it's no big deal. They're just notifying you.
I wonder what this financial institution that you got the call from, I wonder what their success rate is using the automated voice. If there's any pushback from people. It's like
one thing that really annoyed me, I did not have any option to get a person.
Huh.
That annoyed the hell out of me.
So you still don't know why it was canceled?
No, I figured it out. But,
okay. But they didn't tell you?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a block on my debit card, and I didn't
it's
release
fine,
the
but
block.
All right.
Yeah, John makes a good point. What I was going to say was that if you do get a call like this and you're suspicious, go to your normal support process, go to the webpage and call the number.
Right.
I like to talk to customer service. Don't say why until you actually talk to the agent and say, I need to know, did you just contact me? Just like that, and see what they say. So yeah, I've had credit card issues with my card being hacked. And working with Citibank, they have a very good fraud department, and they respond. They're easy to work with, which I'm happy with. So,
all right, a lot of you are using Mozilla Thunderbird for email. So the Mozilla Foundation announced Wednesday that it was moving its Thunderbird email client to a new subsidiary named the MZLA Technologies Corporation. Mozilla said that Thunderbird will continue to remain free and open source, but by moving the project away from its foundation into a corporate entity, they will be able to monetize the product and pay for its development easier than before. Currently, Thunderbird is primarily being kept alive through charitable donations from the product's user base. Moving to MZLA Technologies Corporation will not only allow the Thunderbird project more flexibility and agility, but will also allow us to explore offering our users products and services that were not possible under the Mozilla Foundation. This coming from Philip Kewish, Mozilla Product Manager. The move will allow the project to collect revenue through partnership and non-charitable donations, which in turn can be used to cover the cost of new products and services. So it's not like they're going to ask you for money now. It's going to stay free, but they're going to be able to maybe raise money for it and maybe later on monetize. Maybe it'll cost you something. But that's what it's all about, is making money with that, right?
Mhm.
Let's see what else we have here. This hopefully will help. The U.S. government last Tuesday sued 5 U.S. companies and 3 individuals, alleging they were behind hundreds of millions of fraudulent robocalls that scammed elderly Americans and others into massive financial losses. The U.S. Justice Department lawsuit said most of the calls originated in India and used voice over internet protocol carriers, which use internet connection instead of traditional copper phone. The companies named in the lawsuit include tollfreedeals.com, Global Voicecom, Voicecom Inc., Global Communication Services Inc., and KAT Telecom Incorporated. The Justice Department said the robocalls led to massive financial losses to elderly and vulnerable victims across the nation. U.S. Attorney Richard Donahue, who oversees the Eastern District of New York office, said that for the first time, the Justice Department was targeting U.S.-based enablers and seeking temporary restraints order to block further calls. The government said the firms were warned numerous times they were carrying fraudulent robocalls. I don't know about you, but on that one line that I was getting a lot of robocalls, it's slowing down. Do you see a slowdown? On what?
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm saying to myself, dang, now that I changed to this service here that allows me to do the press 1 to stop all of them, which did, now everything else is slowing down. But it's good.
I'll give you another analogy to slowing down. They
Yeah.
put in place new rules for electronic logbooks on commercial vehicles. And now they're able to monitor the speed of the vehicle. So why is it that suddenly all these trucks are driving the speed limit? So that's strange. No, it's not. Because they're watching.
Yeah, they should.
Yep.
There was unrelated, a little related to what you were just saying. There was an article that I was reading that said that the insurance fees in the U.S. are going up and up and up and up, even though a lot of the cars now have all kind of devices to keep them safer, so nothing happens. all these sensors and things that keep you in the lane, and it's the rate of accidents is going down while the fees are still going up. And the author of the article say, I don't understand why.
I don't understand why I don't get a benefit
From
in insurance by the fact that my cars have those
Yeah.
features. I agree.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree.
for
I think those should be incentivized.
homeowners, if you have a security system, you get a discount. The same thing should be absolutely. Same thing should be for
But
cars.
maybe, and this is just me guessing because I haven't looked into it. Maybe so. Insurance is a statistics business, right?
Yeah.
They don't really care about human lives as long as the numbers. They work with numbers. They work with death. They work with injury. So it's never personalized. My real question is whether these systems have been proven to reduce. That's what's interesting, I think. Are they have they been activated long enough for the numbers to actually mean something? And that's I think, because if it is, then I think it's just a matter of time before maybe even legislation will just decide that this is to be incentivized, right? So,
Yeah.
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 need to do some homework.
Notice to techies out there that work in tech companies or in other companies. Cisco is urging customers to update its Firepower Management Center software after users inform it of a critical bug that attackers could exploit over the internet. I mean, this is not home stuff. This is uh in
Corporate,
corporate and
commercial. Yep.
companies that use Cisco equipment. Another thing, we were talking about Ring. Ring isn't just the product that allows users to surveil their neighbors. The company also uses it to surveil its customers. An investigation by EFF of the Ring doorbell app for Android found it to be packed with third-party trackers, sending out a plethora of customers' personally identifiable information. Just think about it. It's not that they sending it just to Ring, to Amazon. They sending it to third-party trackers. I don't. They didn't say what they did about this, but this is, it's getting ridiculous. It's getting really ridiculous. Anyway, it's this time of day again. Anything anybody else wanted to add?
Oh,
No?
if you do use a remote connection support software, if you're a friend, if you're like Team Viewer, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to use it commercially, it's pretty expensive. It's like $49 a month for a technician. Aero Admin is an alternative that's free for commercial, for limited commercial use too. So you're not violating the EULA by using it to help support. They just don't support the advanced features, but a subscription to that is $79 a year. So if you're looking for something for casual use to support commercial customers, TeamViewer is still free for personal use. It's a great product, but Aero Admin is pretty close, and I've used it a few times now for commercial because it is free for basic functions, and I was able to use it for what I wanted to use it for.
What
and didn't have to pay.
There's
the
also AnyDesk, which is good,
any
very
desk?
good. Yeah, and that's completely free for personal use as well. And
It doesn't show up on the list, like I say, top 10 remote access softwares that you see. It doesn't show up.
Spence,
I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why either.
Spence, what are the advanced options that you don't get?
Oh,
I mean, one or two of them.
Having the machine where you can log in at any time without any intervention on the other side,
Yeah.
doing Control, Delete, reboots, and having it come back up again with
okay.
unattended on the other side, things like that.
All right.
Sometimes file transfers are blocked.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're trying really personal and you're trying to help a friend,
Yeah, and you got
don't
somebody
need all
on the
that.
other side
Yeah.
who's you got to get their
Right.
code so you can log in.
Yeah.
But the Arrow admin has improved a lot in the last couple of years. It's very similar, like I said, to TeamViewer,
Okay.
and does the job. If you just want to have remote desktop control and you want to do some things, it's pretty fast. The earlier versions of it weren't real fast, but I liked it just because I know I'm not, for the occasional times I need commercial applications for it, I'm not violating their agreement.
All right. Anything else? Nick? Gal? There's some noise from me too.
What's that Super Bowl thing tonight? What was that about? Some Super Bowl thing? Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. What do you mean? What? There's a special bowl out there?
Yeah, it's a bowl. It's a big bowl. It's a Super Bowl. It's like a giant bowl as compared to a standard bowl. So that's what I understand anyway.
Everybody's going to be sitting at home.
It's just a good time to. It's a show where you watch commercials and eat food.
So everybody's going to sit tonight and watch the Super Bowl, right? Except me. I'm really not in. I'll watch the commercials tomorrow.
Nobody cares about the game.
That's right.
It's all about. Yeah, it's all about being together.
That's different. If you have a bunch
it's about
of people,
chili.
that's a different story.
It's about cooking up a big pot of chili and sharing it with people.
All right. But thanks, guys. That was great. Thanks, Spence. Thanks, Gal. Thanks, Nick. And good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Katie, and Dana. Dina. Thanks, everybody, for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing. Update your virus scanner. Back up your hard drive. Make sure you upgrade to Windows 10. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. And tonight at 7 at atnshow.com. And if you're in Wilmington on the Big Talker website, Nick is doing his Against the Norm show. It's going to be a good one, I know. See you next week.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Telestream's Wirecast software, StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.